Today we'll be starting with a new topic, that is coagulation cascade. Okay, so coagulation cascade. Fine. Now, in this topic, we will be discussing about pathways. That is the coagulation pathway. Okay, so this coagulation pathway is very important essay question for you, and this pathway includes three types. Fine. So this coagulation pathway includes three types. One is extrinsic pathway and intrinsic pathway, as well as common pathway. Fine. So we are having three types in the coagulation pathway, which is a very important essay question for you all. And they can also ask you about the clotting factors. Clotting factors. It's a very important 5 mark question. And if you see, you should know all the clotting factors because they can be asking you in practicals or viva as well as in theory exams. So make sure you learn about the clotting factors thorough. Fine. Okay. Now let us move to see about what coagulation really means. What do you mean by the term coagulation? Because without knowing this, you cannot go into understand about the pathways. Fine. So coagulation is nothing but a major hemostatic function. First important thing is it is nothing but a hemostatic function, okay, which is responsible. What is responsible for? It is responsible for the prevention as and termination. Okay, it is responsible for prevention and termination of what? Bleeding. Okay, bleeding during injury. That's it. So when you get an injury, bleeding occurs, and to prevent that, we are having the coagulation. Fine. Okay. Now, what is the mechanism? So, mechanism of blood coagulation. So, this mechanism we discussed that takes place in three pathways. Fine. Before moving into those, let us see about the clotting factors. About clotting factors in detail. Fine. See, the first clotting factors is nothing but first one is fibrinogen. Okay, fibrinogen. Second important one is prothrombin. Fibrinogen, prothrombin, right? And third is tissue thromboplastin. Thromboplastin. So fibrinogen, prothrombin, and tissue thromboplastin. What is 4? 4 is a very important ion, that is calcium. Okay, that is calcium ion is coming in 4. Okay, fine. Next 5. So 5 is nothing but, any guess? That is proacceleratin. Proacceleratin, or else you will call it as labile factor. Anything okay? Labile factor. Okay. Next 6. We remember we don't have 6. Okay. Fine. Next is 7. So in 7, here we call it as pro convertin. Okay. So we saw that pro acceleratin and then pro convertin. Okay. Next is what? 8. What is 8? Anti-hemophilic factor. What factor? A. Anti-hemophilic factor A. Okay, that is 8. Next is 9. What is 9? Christmas factor. Christmas factor. Okay, Christmas factor, or we call this as anti-hemophilic factor B. So we saw 8 is nothing but anti-hemophilic factor A, 9 is Christmas factor or anti-hemophilic factor B. Okay, next is 10. So 10 is very important, that is Stuart power factor. Stuart power factor. That is 10. Stuart power factor. Next is 11. 11 is nothing but anti-hemophilic factor C. Anti-hemophilic factor C. So we have factor A, B and C. Remember like that. The number are very important. Okay. Next 12. 12 is what? Hageman factor. Hageman factor. Okay. Next. So this is Hageman factor. Next is 13. Okay. 13 is what? Very important. That is to stabilize. We are having fibrin stabilizing factor. Fibrin stabilizing factor. Very important. Okay. So these are the clotting factors. Let us revise. Fine. So 1 is fibrinogen, 2 is prothrombin, 3 is tissue thromboplastin, 4 is ion, that is calcium, 5 is proaxillerin or labile factor. Next 6, we don't have 6, you should remember that. Next is 7, proconvertin. Okay, 7 is proconvertin, 8 is anti-hemophilic factor A, 9 is anti-hemophilic factor B or Christmas factor, 10 is Stuart power factor, 11 anti-hemophilic factor C. Okay, next 12 is Hageman factor. Next is 13 fibrin stabilizing factor. So these clotting factors are there to help us to form the coagulation pathway. Okay, now let us see the pathways in detail. Fine. Now what really happens? We are having three important pathways, right? What are those? Yes, intrinsic, common pathway and then extrinsic pathways. Fine, these are the three pathways. Now this intrinsic pathway, first let us know about intrinsic pathway. Fine, now this intrinsic pathway, first is 12. Factor 12 is converted to activated 12. A means what? Activated. So how it is activated? If you see, it is due to HMW kinogen. Okay, fine. So we have 12A activated, that is activated. Now this what will really happen? It is converted to 11. Okay, to 11 activated. So 12 is forming activated 12 factor. Next is 11, then 11A. That okay? Fine. Now this 11A is converted into 9. Why? What is happening to 10? 10 is coming in common pathway. Remember that. So 10 is coming in common pathway. So we have 9 activated 9. So this is about the intrinsic pathway. Okay. Next we must learn about extrinsic pathway. So here I am writing as extrinsic pathway. Which is most important? Who is coming in extrinsic pathway? Tissue thromboplastin. Tissue thromboplastin. Fine. Tissue thromboplastin is which factor? Tell me. Any idea? Yes, it is 3. Okay. Now this tissue thromboplastin is converted into 7. activated 7. That's it, you have to remember. Okay, extrinsic pathway, tissue thromboplastin, that is factor 3. Next we have the conversion of 7, activated 7. Okay, fine. Now these things, they are coming into common pathway. They both are coming into common pathway. What is this common pathway? Let us see. So what I told you, who is coming into common pathway? Yes, it is factor 10. So this factor 10 is converted into activated factor 10. Fine. Okay. Now this 10 is converted into 5. Activated 5A. That is A. Okay. Now this 5A, okay, our prothrombin is converted into thrombin. What all you need for this? Very important. What all you need is 10A, okay, 5A, this one, and also an ion, this calcium. Don't forget this. To convert the prothrombin into thrombin, what all we need? 10, 5 and calcium ion is needed to convert the prothrombin to thrombin. Fine. Now this thrombin, what really happens? This is converted into, any idea? Yes, there is fibrinogen. It is important to convert for the conversion of fibrinogen to fibrin. And this fibrin is our monomer. Right? And this fibrin is our monomer. Okay. To form this fibrin as a definite clot plug, okay, what we need is our fibrin stabilizing factor, that is 13. Yes or no? Yes. So we are having 13 clotting factors, and the 13th one, that is fibrin stabilizing factor, is going to help us to form or to convert the fibrin to definite clot plug. Fine. Okay, so this is the pathway. Let us revise. Okay, we have 3 pathways: intrinsic pathway, extrinsic and common pathway. So intrinsic, who is coming? 12. So 12 is converted into activated 12, 11 activated 11, next 11, that is 9, and activated 9. Whereas 10 is coming in common pathway, don't forget. Okay, now extrinsic pathway, who is coming? Third factor, that is tissue thromboplastin, that is converted into 7. Okay, 7 to activated 7. Fine. Now who is coming in common pathway? 10. So we have the activated 10 converted into 5A, which helps not only the 5, 10, 5 as well as calcium helps in the conversion of prothrombin to thrombin. Okay, fine. Now this thrombin is going to convert into fibrinogen to fibrin. Okay, fibrin is a monomer which helps in the conversion of definite clot plug through 13th clotting factor. Okay, this is very simple. So understand the pathways and write and see. Okay, both the clotting factors as well as the pathways, very important. Okay, so next what we are going to see is that there are various tests we are going to do. We are going to conduct various tests for that. That is, we call this as lab monitoring. So what all we need? First, very important, is the prothrombin time. We call it as PT. Okay, so it is the test for extrinsic pathway. Fine. Next, very important, it is going to measure the vitamin K dependent factor activity. That is, tell me what are the factors for the vitamin K dependent factor activity? 2, 7, 9 and 10. Very good. Okay. Next, what is the normal value? What is the normal value for prothrombin time in idea? 11 to 16 seconds. Very important. Okay. Fine. Next is we are having something called as APTT. What is this APTT? Activated partial prothrombin time. So activated partial prothrombin time. So it is the test for what? Intrinsic as well as common pathway. Very important. Intrinsic as well as common pathway. So here it depends activity for all the coagulation factors. Okay, it depends on the activity of all the coagulation factors except the factor. What are the factors? 7 and then 13. Okay, so it depends on all the factors except 7 and 13. Okay, what is the normal value? What is the normal value for APTT? 26 to 40 seconds. 26 to 40 seconds. Okay, understand? Okay. Now another thing we are having, that is activated clotting time. We call this as ACT. So this ACT, we monitor the heparin. This is anticoagulant. Heparin nothing but the anticoagulant. So monitor the heparin anticoagulant where? In which surgery? Right? Very important. Cardiac vascular surgery. We monitor the heparin, that is the anticoagulant. What is the normal value? So the normal value is about approximately 90 to 120 seconds. 90 to 120 seconds. Understand? Fine. Now there are something called as fibrinolysis. What do you mean by this fibrinolysis? They can ask you in my question. So pay attention. If coagulation is in my words, I will use different color. If the coagulation, okay, is continuing, it is continuing in such a way it is in uncontrolled manner. The coagulation, that is the clot plug, what we saw doing the pathways, definite clot plug. Okay, if it is continuing and it is in uncontrolled manner, then it results in a pathological state. Fine. And the process of fibrinolysis results in the breakdown of clot. What I said? The process of the fibrinolysis is going to result in the breakdown of clot. See, when there is any tissue injury, there will be release of plasminogen. Okay, there will be release of plasminogen, and that plasminogen, where the plasmin binds to fibrin, and that is going to form fibrin. Listen my words, fibrin degradation product. What I said? When there is any tissue injury, there will be release of plasminogen, and that plasminogen, our plasmin, is going to bind to the fibrin. So what it will form? Fibrin degradation product, and thus there will be breakdown of the clot. Very simple. So this is what you have to understand in the coagulation cascade. So we saw about the clotting factors as well as the coagulation pathway fibrinolysis. Thank you. Have a nice day.